Hello and welcome back to another one of my videos in my 75 days of Kingdom Hearts. I am Kewlimp, Justin, and a whole host of other names I'm not allowed to say. With that said, we're going to go ahead and start our video today. We are talking about Xehanort again. Now, we've spoken a lot about him, his intentions, his ideas, his philosophies, and because of that, we want to go ahead and talk about if, big IF here, if he is working for the Masters of Masters. I think it's a really interesting concept to explore as a thought. I'm not sure how true it is. So before we continue, I want to put a big old preface right here at the beginning. I'm not sure how accurate this is. I don't have evidence to support it. I am just going, interesting thought. Let's put it out. Let's see if there's anyone who does have supporting evidence, possibly. But more specifically, could this be true? And you'll notice I will tag people in my Twitter post talking, hey, what do you guys think? Yes, it's a big notice me senpai, but I'm going to move along from that. Well, no, that goes over there. The unimportant section. Over there. Yeah, over there. Ooh. So, this is the basic theory of the idea. Is you can only move forward in time. You have to discard your body. When you go back to your body, you forget everything you've learned in the future. Interesting concept. Very basic concept. So, I've spoken about No Name once before, but I want to say something real quick in regards to it. This theory goes off of the base assumption that the I in No Name is his eye from his dive to the heart. Really interesting idea, isn't it? So that's the base assumption we're going with. So he does have a part of himself at that point in time. We're talking specifically whenever Xehanort happens to meet the mom, or if that he met the master after the Keyblade War. This assumes Xehanort makes his escape, doesn't get killed by Sora, and completely destroyed on or in Kingdom Hearts. I think that because those are the most likely things to happen is Xehanort to die at Sora's hands and be gone because he's at Kingdom Hearts. There's no place to go to. The infinite respawn button does not work in Kingdom Hearts. Or at least that's my thoughts on the matter. So with that said, I want to talk why this is important. So the Master does not have any physical body in those time frames. Now if you already know what I'm hinting at, cool, you're with me. For everyone else, I'm talking about the puppet program. The puppet program is very important. It would allow the Master of Masters to be able to transfer his heart into it, because that would be a version of himself. Just stick the Keyblade in him, which would maybe what happens to No Name. No Name doesn't make it to the end because he has to put his eye into a puppet. The puppet absorbs the eye, and he has a body. And then from there we can discuss what Little Bunny Foo does. But we're gonna place that off over there. The how and the why doesn't matter. It's the why we're focused on. With that said, a puppet would provide both a durable and a suitable vessel for him. It would provide no resistance in heart, no resistance in mind, and the body would be controlled by him. Now, whenever we played through Chain of Memory, there was a huge focus on things like puppets. I think it made its reappearance in Days, which is a game I really need to sit down and play. I kind of watched the movie, but I wasn't entirely focused. I understand what happens in overall story in it. I just need to sit down and watch scene by scene. With that said, there does seem to be a bit of a focus on the puppet program, or at least that it has a huge value. And it isn't just so that they can get the Keyblade. Mind you, this is Nomura, so canon can be changed. Time can be rewritten. Never mind, I'm a nerd. But in hindsight, this does seem to have like a really greater purpose. It doesn't seem to be just to... Sorry, I have dogs. There does seem to be a greater program, a greater purpose for said program. And if the mom ends up being, the Master ends up being a villain, this seems to be the best way to do it. I say the best way, not the only way. So if I happen to be wrong, it's a possibility. We will be able to sit there and go, ha ha ha, you were all wrong, you knew nothing. We don't know anything to begin with. But it would basically be, he's pulling an Ultron. What you would do is basically create a bunch of faux bodies, a bunch of puppets, and at each point you need to, you just transfer to a new vessel as one breaks down. This is, of course, if the Master of Masters is in fact a villain further down the road. And that's kind of the thing I've been thinking about. Is not so much if he's a villain now, but if he's a villain in the future. Because if he's a villain in the future, we have to have a way of some way getting him to the present. Now, the biggest thing is that we make an assumption, or at least a base assumption, that he time travels sometime during back cover. We don't know what happens to him, so we assume that it's time travel. Because he doesn't want to explain it. He says he disappears, no longer here. And that's something that's super important to me, because I love doing this theory crafting thing. It's a lot of fun. Trying to pick something apart. I'm a failed writer and I enjoy doing this here. It's why I share all my videos online. It's the reason I thought about doing 75 Days of Kingdom Hearts. And I'm the only content creator that I know that's doing it right now. You'd figure the big dogs would get in on this and at least talk something Kingdom Hearts every day until the game came out. Bang it into our heads. But this type of situation really does show that there might be more going on. Even though right now we're focused on defeating Xehanort, it may very well be exactly what needs to happen to kill him, but bring about the villain for the next mainline trilogy. Because if you want to be smart about it, you do it in trilogies. So Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, and 3 is technically a trilogy. They're side games, but that's a different subject. They're side games with mainline importance. So the next saga might focus on the Master of Masters as he wants to absorb Kingdom Hearts. Or he wants to absorb the darkness to become the thing that on that fated day light shall expire. Darkness will prevail and light shall expire. Ooh. I got a little bit of research to do. I might have a theory video coming out before these, but recorded afterwards. Ooh. Sorry. That's a... Alright, we're going to finish up this, and then I'm going to do some research, do some uploading, the little bit of editing that I personally do, because I like these videos raw. When you're talking about theories, and I try to stay on point, which is why I actually have my cell phone down, like right here, with a timer on it so I don't ramble. It keeps it within a reasonable time frame, because if not, like talking about Xehanort would probably cover 2 or 3 videos worth of content. In fact, the last 3 things that I've wrote down was about Xehanort himself and what's going on with him. But if the Master of Masters ends up being a villain, this would be the best way to give him a body. Now, until No Name is destroyed, there will always be a part of the Master of Masters in every timeline, in every time zone, because his eye is traveling with them. But with that said, I want to say good night, good evening, good afternoon, and may joy be to you all. For my new subscribers that I've been seeing that's been growing almost on a daily basis, welcome to the channel. Thank you for subscribing. Don't be afraid to like videos. Don't be afraid to comment on them. I don't always respond, but if it's a comment I like, I will interact with it. You can follow me on Twitter with the same name, on Twitch with the same name, and because I'm working on saving up some money for a PlayStation Pro and an Elgato, I do have my Patreon link in the description below. Now, I don't like to e-beg like this because I think it's a horrible way to start YouTubing, but I really want to get a capture card so I can record things without being censored by the PlayStation. And that's something I really want to do for you guys. When the game comes out, I'm going to be producing content probably at a twice a week basis. I'm going to try for twice a week. A lot of it will probably be me going with my controller falling onto the ground. Just saying, I know me. Y'all might see me tear up and cry. Straight up. But with that, I can't do that on the PlayStation alone. I don't think it'd be able to handle everything because the developers didn't want to talk about the frame rate on the PS4 alone. PS4 Pro, solid 60 apparently. PS4, twiddling my thumbs on it. So with that said, like my content, give me a like. Want more information? Want to see me put out a video again every day until Kingdom Hearts is released? Hit the subscribe button. And if you really like me, go ahead and go to my Patreon. The funds are going to be accounted for. Those are the two things that it's going to. And I'll work out some type of rewards for anyone who happens to donate. It might be playing a game with me. It might be coming onto my Twitch and maybe doing a live stream with me. That's basically a podcast about Kingdom Hearts. And that would, of course, would end up being uploaded for 75 Days of Kingdom Hearts. I've been reaching out to some other content creators, and we are thinking of some of us, and a couple of people have already mentioned it, maybe doing collaborations, because they know what I'm doing, because there's not many people who are even trying to do daily content for Kingdom Hearts 3 at this point. So I want to say, again, good night, good morning, good afternoon, and may joy be to you all. I will see you in the next video. 75 Days of Kingdom Heart, baby!